Good morning to everybody. Now I discuss about column chromatography. Column chromatography is one of the separation technique to use column as a stationary phase. According to nature of the stationary phase, it is classified into two types. One is column adsorption chromatography. Second one is column partition chromatography. In adsorption chromatography, they are using solid as a stationary phase. So the adsorption is a principle. It separates the substance according to the affinity of compounds. Here, lesser affinity compounds mean it should be easily separated and it will be coming out faster. Here, more affinity compounds mean it will be travel slower and it should be come later. The rate of movement of component is calculated by distance traveled by solute and distance traveled by solvent. These are all the requirements for column chromatography. To use stationary phase, mobile phase, and you should select the column characteristic and prepare the column, and you should introduce the sample. Now then you go for development technique and detection of components and the recovery of your components. So the stationary phase, they are using adsorbent as a stationary phase. The adsorbent should comprise the following characteristics. The particle should have uniform size. It should be in the range of 60 to 200 micrometer, and it should have high mechanical stability, and it should not react with the solute and insoluble in solvent as well as mobile phase, and the adsorbent should colorless, and it should allow the free flow of mobile phase, and also it should be used for wide variety of components. That adsorbent will be classified according to the activity: weak adsorbent, medium adsorbent, and strong adsorbent. The adsorbent should be selected to the following characteristic, that is according to the removal of impurities, number of components, and the affinity difference between the components, and the length of the column. Here, small quantity of impurity only there in your sample may you select a weak adsorbent, as well as if a few number of components will be there, you should select a weak adsorbent. The large number of components is there, you select a strong adsorbent. Next factors is affinity difference between the components. If there are more affinity is there, you will be use the weak adsorbent, as well as the lesser affinity mean you use the strong adsorbent. And the last one is length of the column. Their length will be very short mean you should select the strong adsorbent. Their long length column mean you select the weak adsorbent. And the next part is preparation of column. In this preparation, these are all the steps will be involved. In this first you keep the glass flag wool, and then you keep the glass wool. Then you pack your adsorbent. After that, you keep the mixture of components. Then you pass the solvent continuously to the column. Next part is packing technique. There using two types of technique. One is dry packing technique and another one is wet packing. In this dry packing means the adsorbent is packed in dried form. So then only they pass the mobile phase into the equilibrium. But it will be having number of drawbacks. That is, first one is entrapment of air bubbles, because the mobile phase flow will be not uniform. So it should be produce the air bubbles between the particles. And the next drawback is it should be not packed uniformly, and also sometimes it produce the cracks and the bands will be not formed clearly. But they are using the another method, wet packing technique. It should be the ideal method, and the drawback of dry packing is rectified by wet packing technique. In this method, the adsorbent is first mixed with the mobile phase, then it will be packed into the column. So it should have some advantage, that is no entrapment of air bubbles, uniform packing, and clear separation. Then Next step is introduction of sample. The mixture of component is mixed with the mobile phase, then introduced into the column. Next step is in development technique. They are using the two types of technique. One is isocreatic technique and the gradient addition method. In this isocreatic technique, throughout the process, they are using the same solvent and the same ratio of your mobile phase. In case of gradient mean, they are using the different range of mobile phase and the ratio of solvent will be changed after some time. Under recovery of components, the components are recovered by according to the color zone of your adsorbent or color solution of your diluent. Next step is deduction. The components are detected by using the chemical test or according to the color reaction also they are identify the components. Or sometimes they are using the instrumental method like UV spectroscopy, visible spectroscopy or spectropluimetry. The type of method they are used to detect the components present in the separated solution. Then factors affecting the column efficiency. The following factors are affected the column efficiency. First one is dimension of the column. That is length of the column is act as an important role. If you are increasing the length, the efficiency of the column is increased. The ideal range is 20:1. That is 20 centimeter is a length and 1 centimeter is a diameter. Like 30 centimeter is a your length of the column and one is the diameter. And the next factor is particle size of the adsorbent. The particle size, you should use the minimum particle size, then the efficiency will be increased. And the solvent, you should use the less viscous solvent, then only the mobile phase will be freely flow into the your column. And the temperature, this temperature is up to particular limit, it will be the directly proportional. That is, if you are increasing, the efficiency also increase. There began the limit, the nature of the substance will be affected. So you should maintain the optimum level. And the last one is pressure. That is, in top of the column, you should maintain the high pressure, and the bottom of the column, you should maintain the low pressure. And the last heading is application. That is, the chromatography technique mainly used to separate the substance from the your solution, and also it used for removal of impurities as well as isolation of active constituent, isolation of metabolite from biological fluids, as well as estimation of drugs. Even column chromatography is used for quantitative analysis also, like you will be able to quantitative analysis for glycosides, phytomanadium injections, tablets, like that. Thank you.